In every class of car, for one reason or maybe several reasons, there is a standout model. So for example, if I said performance sedan, you might say BMW M3. If I said premium hatchback, you might say Audi A3. And if I said luxury SUV, you might say Mercedes-Benz ML or Range Rover. But you probably wouldn't say Volkswagen Touareg. And that's probably because, unfortunately for VW, most people just don't associate them with the word luxury. But the recently facelifted Touareg is, as we'll soon discover, a luxury SUV. And despite its comfort and soft leather and fancy seats and long list of standard stuff, there's something else that people can't get their heads around because of that VW badge. And that's the price tag. Base price for this Touareg, 990,000 Rand. And with all the extras on our test car, it's well over $1 million. Of course, there are things you can point to prove to the non-believers that it is worth the money, certainly every bit as much as its competition. But the majority of people in this corner of the market just won't believe that a Volkswagen is worth $1 million. The Touareg's competition covers a fairly broad range of prices, starting at around 750,000 Rand, but they all wear the luxury 4x4 tag with some degree of conviction. From a styling point of view, this VW is right up there. By comparison, the Toyota Prado looks like it's stuck in the 90s. The Touareg, with its new grille and headlights, new tail lights and extra chrome bits, has the dominating presence, the imposing size and as many LEDs as are required to make it a car that you can't help but take notice of. As good as it may be, I really do feel sorry for the Touareg. In fact, I feel sorry for most luxury SUVs because although they're all built to conquer the most challenging conditions, most of them only get to conquer this. Traffic, the mundane, everyday commute. Fortunately though, you don't need to plan an expedition to take them off-road to see what they can do, you just need to know where to look. Right in the middle of traffic hell central, Fourways in northern Johannesburg, sits a monumental playground. Josie X has a trapeze setup, a monster water slide and a bunch of other obstacles which people actually use their own muscles to tackle. But just for RPM, for one morning, they opened their gates to us. And now we're going to have a bit of off-road fun, without having to drive 400 kilometers in any given direction, or stray too far from a coffee shop or a convenient toilet. We've got some inclines, we've got some dirt, we've got some challenging bits, and we're going to see what the VW Touareg can do. And we do it while everyone else was diligently on their way to the office. Our test car is the 4.2-litre V8 diesel, which comes standard with all-wheel drive and lockable diffs, but no low range. For that, you need to opt for the Terrain Tech package on the V6 diesel. Our test car does have the optional air suspension fitted, and in these kinds of conditions, it was more than capable. And let's be honest, these kinds of conditions are about the toughest $1 million Rand 4x4 is likely to face. Even in its natural environment, i.e. tar, it's every bit as good as anything else in its class. You've got 250 kilowatts and 800 newton meters to smoothly get you from 0 to 100 in under 6 seconds. You've got the option of air suspension with different modes. It's got shift paddles. So even if you think you're in the Dakar Rally or just on a family trip to Durban, this car just always feels good. The word to describe it is effortless. Of course, it still weighs over 2 tons and is basically shaped like a log cabin, so even though VW says this big diesel will get by on 9.1 litres per 100 Ks, we've only managed a figure that's closer to 16. I can't imagine a scenario where you'd want to drive this thing, with its plentiful power and smooth ride, in a way that would consume any less fuel. So it might empty its tank of diesel faster than you might like, but while it's doing that, it keeps you very comfortable indeed. The standard spec is impressive, the technology is top class, and it all comes together seamlessly. Burr walnut inlays mesh with chocolate brown leather and aluminium accents. The space is magnificent thanks to the white illumination and the optional panoramic glass roof, and it's all fantastically easy to use. Electric seats with heating and cooling combined with sat-nav and Bluetooth, and the 4-zone climate control gives everyone the temperature they want in a cabin that is very nicely put together. One definite shortcoming though is a lack of a third row of seats, which isn't even offered as an option in here. The Volkswagen Touareg is blessed with a few things. Good looks, lots of comfort, strong motor, fairly good off-road ability, but it's also cursed with a perception of value and a general belief that Volkswagen just can't build cars that are worth the kind of money that the Touareg is asking for. But this car absolutely destroys that perception, because as a package, it's right up there with the very best.
A strong diesel motor delivers enough power to get the big VW to 100 km an hour in less than 6 seconds. It's super smooth and very capable in all kinds of conditions. It has luxury, it has style, and it has enough off-road ability to match the best in its class. But the Touareg is hurt by a value perception, and there's no option of a third seat row.